guys, nothingwired.com, and we're here with the Samsung Galaxy Mega 5.8. Now this is the smaller of the two Galaxy Mega series phones that we have. The Galaxy Mega 6.3 is the other one. We've already extensively reviewed that one, so if you are more interested in that kind of a form factor, you can check out our review of that. Now this guy is aimed at the mid-price segment, which is about between 20 to 25k Indian rupees. Now the looks and feel are more like an upgrade of the Galaxy Grand Duo. This guy also has a dual SIM, by the way, and also calls Galaxy Mega 5.8 Duos, if you will. There you see the Duos, and it's also not available in the US. At least I haven't seen it listed in Samsung US or Amazon.com. You of course get it from eBay.com, but most of those are imported. So that tells us something. That tells us that unlike the Galaxy Mega 6.3, which is available across Amazon or Samsung USA, this guy is not listed in the US. So this could be aimed at the emerging market, and as I told you, the looks and feel confirms that it's in fact could be an upgrade of the Galaxy Grand Duos rather than the Galaxy Mega 6.3, which is kind of a a cut down version of the Galaxy S4 flagship device. In which the Samsung Galaxy Mega 5.8 comes is very similar to that of the Galaxy S4 and subsequently the Galaxy Mega 6.3. You have the same 100% recyclable material here, including the ink, which is soya ink, and all this thing inscribed here, the cardboard, everything is 100% recyclable, and it looks like Samsung has made this a habit of manufacturing this kind of box only, which is a great thing, some concern for the environment, and we definitely appreciate and give some bonus points for that. Now it's a fairly compact box. You see Duos, that's the phone, the Samsung Galaxy Mega 5.8 Duo, so it has dual SIM. See, it's soya ink, and there's some information there. You see the MRP 2500, but you get it for about 23,000 odd there. Then it's white colored, and then some quick info there. Yeah, and both the parts are stuck by all of this one sticker that you can probably cut it by your nail, but we'll do it in a more civilized way. Now you see that's the model number GTI 9152. So I'm gonna do an unboxing for you here. Here we go. Yep. I'll just pull this up, and there is the Galaxy Mega 5.8. Pull it up like this. I'll come back to it later. We'll go further in, and then we see some manual, we see a quick start guide, we see some SAR information, then some environment information, and then some important customer information, and there we have the warranty card. Go inside and usual stuff, the micro USB cable there. You have extra earbuds, 3 pairs with the usual Samsung earphone there, gold plated, good one, noise cancelling, and you also have your controls, both volume as well as call controls. Then you have your USB wall adapter, of course, and then you have the 2600 mAh battery. Yeah. So those are the content. No surprises, not that we expected any. So that's the Galaxy Mega 5.8. Let's go and strip it off the unnecessary plastic. Yeah. So there you see, as I told you, it looks very similar to the Galaxy Grand Duos. Very lightweight, again very usual familiar material that all Samsung Galaxy devices are made of. Not very thin, but fits nicely. Nice round metal-like ring, but I'm sure that's high quality polycarbonate. So we'll come back to the hardware later. You have some textures here on the back. Yeah, so that's the Galaxy Mega 5.8. We'll be back with the hardware. The Galaxy Mega 5.8 is more like the next in line of the Galaxy Grand, which is a very popular device in the Indian market especially. Now you can call this a premium Galaxy Grand. It looks and feels almost the same, only bigger and slightly more powerful, almost 1.5 times about more powerful than the Galaxy Grand. It never intends to be a flagship model of Samsung, so it's kind of in the premium mid-range. So again, the signature Samsung look there, and also the feel. It's mostly plastic and glass. There is no metal whatsoever. This is polycarbonate, very high quality polycarbonate, as Samsung promises. So on the front, as the name suggests, you have a 5.8 diagonal TFT capacitive LCD screen. It has a QHD resolution that is 540 by 960 pixels, which translates to about 190 ppi, which is actually quite less or average for this kind of a display. Now on top of display, above the display, you have the earpiece, the notification light, and then you have a sensor, and then you have the front camera there. Here you have the very popular home hard button, then you would have a back soft button there and a menu soft button there. On this side you have the lone volume rocker, below you have the mouthpiece and the micro USB port. On this side you have the power button, and then on top, as expected, the 3.5mm jack. So almost similar to most of Samsung's latest Galaxy devices. On the back you have the 8MP camera with an LED flash, your speaker grill there, and then the Samsung logo. It has a very nice texture like was on the new Galaxy devices, where Samsung has started the trend of giving a very nice, almost like diagonal squarish kind of a look that's more prominent and come out very nicely on the darker shades. However, even on the white, when you look closely, you'll find those beautiful texture. I'm not sure if you can make it out. It's so there you can see slightly when the camera focuses. So there's typical plastic and glass design. You have this plastic made but looks like brushed metal aluminum ring that gives the phone a very premium look like on the Galaxy Grand. The back flap is removable as ever. It's also plastic, although not very thin. And the Galaxy Mega 5.8 supports dual SIM, so you have SIM 1 and you have SIM 2, both are micro SIMs. Then here goes your micro SD card, and then your 2600 mAh battery. So like the Galaxy Grand and most of the phones after that, even the Galaxy Mega 5.8 feels great in hand, although it's not for the smaller hands like mine. So I have a pretty small, and so it's like kind of only just about fit in my hand, but ergonomically this guy is very very cool. And like even though it's a huge screen, I don't feel like it'll slip off my hands anytime soon. 9mm thin, not the thinnest phone in the market. 182 gram, not the lightest phone in the market. But then you have a very big screen, which is the USP of the Galaxy Mega 5.8. Let's start the Galaxy Mega 5.8 and check out the display first and then the user interface. Now while it's starting up, that's the model number i9152. Let's talk about some quick specs. So as some of the specs I have told you before, 5.8 inch capacitive LCD screen, a QHD resolution, 9mm thin, 182 grams weight, Then it's powered by a dual core 1.4 gig processor, 1.5 GB of RAM. It has 8 GB of internal storage, and you have a micro SD card. It can be extended up to 64 GB. So the QHD resolution of 5.8 display, I'll show you what happens. So just check the Z ends on the camera. I'm not sure if you can make it out. There you see. So the icons are pretty pixelated. The colors are also not that deep, and when you have a high resolution device like the Galaxy S4, which you do not have handy, you will see the difference greatly. There is slightly, I can make out the Z round of the lens of the camera icon. Yeah, when you go here also you will see some. So the display is bright, but it's not exactly what you call a sharp display. However, the viewing angles are not bad, although the screen is reflective, being an LCD TFT screen. You can almost make out the words here. You can see YouTube, or maybe because I already know the icon is of YouTube, I don't know. You can't actually read what's written there. See, you can actually read what's written there because of the reflective screen. So again, even the viewing angle are only average. There you see. Even here, if someone doesn't know what icon is this, he cannot tell you what's written there. I know, because I know that's Samsung app. Yep, so that's the display, pretty average, and one of the low point. At least you have the real estate, so it's great for browsing websites, reading books, reading magazines, but it's kind of on the not very sharp and not very high resolution. So though you might see things pixelated at times, you might see the color depth not as much as you would have liked. Yeah, so that's the display. (2600 mAh battery). It has an 8 MP autofocus back camera, and then the 1.9 MP front camera. Now this guy is powered by the latest Android Jelly Bean 4.2.2 and Samsung's very brand new TouchWiz UI on top, which is apparent from there. You see the unlock animation here. So those are kind of the firepower kind of stuff. You also have the familiar ripple effect. You can choose that as well. So that's lock screen. Yeah, there you see you cannot change the lock screen and add more widgets there. Place for only one, unlike on the other flagship devices where you could add more widgets. Now we'll unlock this, and a very familiar Samsung Jelly Bean interface. In fact, after ICS there hasn't changed much on the TouchWiz UI, which is a very good thing because it remains simple and familiar to most of the people who are continuously upgrading to the latest Samsung device. So you have the home screen, you can add or delete there already some amount of lag. You can see powered by a 12-core device, such a big display, it ought to have some lag, somewhat underpowered as we believe, but we'll have to check that. So you have a customizable app dock there. You can have your own choice of apps. You can drag them here. You can create a new home screen. You can delete this here. And you can long press on any home screen to add wallpapers, widgets, apps, folders and whatnot. Very familiar. You have the notification bar. Yeah, because it's Jelly Bean, when you drag it with 2 fingers you'll have the full function toggle bar there. So menu, and you can practically do most of the things that you can do when you long press on an empty space. Yeah. So straight away go to the settings, and there you see the Android 4.2.2 has a new settings. Yeah, the TouchWiz UI basically. So you have all those arranged in horizontal way. you have the connections, then my device will have your display, sound and all those stuffs. You have smart screen, you also have smart stay. There you can see here that guy is watching me, so it's not gonna dim as long as I'm looking at the screen, as long as I'm reading a book or browsing a web page or kind. So you can add all these accounts. Still no Twitter account. I don't know, well, Samsung will hear us. Twitter is very important. So let's go to about device, and there you see the model number, Android 4.2.2. Is there anything else that I need to show you? Yeah, so let's quickly check out the SIM card manager. I have only one SIM on that, but you can set up both your SIMs, and this guy supports Smart Dual SIM, which means that it's kind of a walk around of a dual active SIM. So this guy does not exactly support dual active SIM. Dual active SIM means that even while you're on call on SIM 1, you can receive a call on SIM 2 and it will come as waiting. Now, as a workaround, the Samsung devices, what they call a Smart Dual SIM, what happens is that when you're on call on, let's say, SIM 1, and if someone calls on SIM 2, essentially the SIM 2 is supposed to become not approachable or unavailable, because this is actually a dual standby phone. But then what Smart comes into play, and the call from the SIM 2 automatically gets forwarded to SIM 1. So whenever you activate the Smart Dual SIM, when you have two SIMs, we have shown that to you before in Grand and some other devices, so we're not going to show that to you again. You'll have to enter your phone number on a SIM 2 where it will be forwarded. So when you're on call on SIM 1 and when someone calls on SIM 2, the SIM 2 actually is unavailable, but because the call gets forwarded to SIM 1, you will still receive the call as waiting. Yeah. So app drawer, very familiar app drawer. So it has most of Google's default Android apps plus Samsung's latest apps like what you have, Group Play, and you have Samsung Link and a brand new look of the Samsung app, voice recorder, story album, which is a new thing, as translator, which is again a new app, a lot of new apps. Yeah, you have Paper Artist, which is a relatively new app. You have your widgets arranged here. You can long press on any of these and add them to your home pages. Yeah. Now let's quickly check out just some of the apps. Oh, by the way, you can go here and you can edit the apps, you can hide those, you can change the view type to alphabetical or however you want it to be. So let's start with the calculator, because we absolutely love the new calculator interface where it almost looks like you're pressing a rubber button. There you see, it goes in like a rubber button. Absolutely love this. Then the 8MP camera. Yeah. So the new Galaxy devices borrows the interface from the Galaxy camera. So you have modes here, all these modes. It's on the new modes like the sound and shots and kinds. Yeah. And then there you can select those. Yeah. These are the quick function toggle, and then you can go to detailed settings. There you see. So in 16:9 only 6MP, in 8MP you will go to a 4:3 aspect ratio. Face detection, you have metering, ISO that goes only up to 800. Anti-shake, you should always have this on unless you have the phone on a tripod, which is actually very rare. I mean, if you buy a tripod specifically for phone, that's another thing. So yeah, so this guy records full HD at 30 frames per second. You have some other usual settings here. Yeah. So that's the camera. Let's just quickly check out how it whether it lags or something. So on my third tab, yeah, let's check out if it has a no lag setting. No, so it does not have a no lag setting. Yeah, so that was the camera. Pretty straightforward, not much to show there, not much new there. You have the contact, you have the gallery, again very similar. You can select multiple albums and then share them. You cannot delete multiple albums by the way. However, you can go to an album, again there arrange very neatly in an explorer kind of a setup. Now you can select multiple photos and then delete or share. Yeah, then what else? Internet. I'm just gonna show you some of the system tools mainly which you will use daily. Again, a very similar looking Samsung default browser. So the bigger screen supports the tab arrangement very nicely. It will actually accommodate 3 apps perfectly there, 3 tabs. So let's go to one tab and you can force the desktop view. Because it's Jelly Bean, the browser of course does not support flash playback. Yeah, you can go to settings here and pretty much the same settings. You can set your bookmarks from here. Yeah, so I'll just quickly show you the keyboard, which is by the way the same, and we love it because of especially because of the additional number row there, which takes full advantage of a bigger screen. So you have enough spaces there, so you almost never mistype. It also supports continuous input, so you can go here and then you can select continuous input. So now you can go like the and etc. Very useful. Music, again very usual, and by usual we mean we love it. Yeah, so this kind of arranges the music according to the mood that they fall into. We absolutely love the folder tab because that's very important, especially when you have an uncategorized music, so yeah, so there is quite flat actually. The bass is not very deep. Yeah, so you can go here, you can go to settings and you can go to sound alive, and you can say something like these things will only come when you use a earphone. You can have auto and it will be slightly better. Yeah, music auto off and so. Yeah, however the music output through the earphones are amazing. The Samsung earphones are very premium quality with gold plated audio jacks, and they are in air with rubber earbuds that goes right into your ears and cancels the noise to a great level. So you're kind of not disturbed by external elements, external noise much. The bass are very nicely tuned, kind of deep bass. You can hear the notes clearly. The treble is also very nicely arranged and modified according to a headphone experience. So output via headphone is totally a different ball game than output via the speakers. But then we recommend you do not listen to music at the loudest volume while you're using earphones, because that might damage your ears. You have Story Album, a new feature that came with the Galaxy S4, where you can quickly select some images and then create a story album. We've shown this to you during our Galaxy S4 video extensively. So you have Play Movies, Play Books, which are Google apps. Yeah, so those are pretty much about it. There are some third-party apps like TripAdvisor, there would be Flipboard, and is there anything else? I think that's about it. And the Samsung Paper Artist again is a third-party app actually. Samsung does a pretty good thing, and they have learned someone might have given them strong feedback that not to use bloatwares, so they kind of don't use a lot of third-party apps. They would leave it to you to install them from Samsung apps or Google Play Store or from somewhere else if you need it. So it's basically the usual apps. The benefit is when you go to storage, it has 8 GB of internal storage. Then you can see of 8 GB the ROM takes up about some GBs. Then you have a total of 5.34 GB available for applications and other files, and you see available is 4.53. so less than 1 GB is taken in applications. Only took about 472 MB because there are almost no bloatware. So that's pretty much about it. Standard 4.2.2 interface. Now it's pretty smooth on the onset, but then when you have all these live widgets active, and when you have all the home pages filled with widgets, then you would start see a little bit of lag. Now a great way to test the lag, a great way to really stress phone is to go to Play Store, and then you can go to My Apps and go to All and try installing 3-4 apps at the same time. So go and search anything, Angry Birds, yeah, then go install, accept, search again, I would search. There you see a slight lag in appearing the keyboard, then install again, and you'll slowly start to see the lag. Now you again go to home page. You really have to stress to get the lag. It's there, but for most of your daily moderate to heavy usage, you'd pretty much get through the device pretty without any complaints most of the time. So some quick performance feedback now. The call quality is great. We did not hear both parties on either side of the call. Did not hear the other party's voice breaking or any dead space kind of stuff. I was in the escape ladder, and even on the second level of basement I could actually continue talking. The voice was just breaking just a bit on the second level. On the escalator, however, the call got disconnected, but for most of the part the call quality and reception is excellent. I told you about the music quality. The output via speaker is decent. It's just loud enough, but then it's not very deep bass. However, listening via the earphones is a totally different experience altogether. Now about the photography performance, the Galaxy Mega 5.8 clicks pretty decent picture under inner flight. The colors are deep, the saturations are more towards neutral, which is a good thing. It does not add vibrance and does not oversaturate the picture like the Galaxy camera used to do or some of the other phones. So you pretty much see the neutral color. We would have loved to have the low light mode, but the camera does not have the low light mode. We are very impressed with low light mode of Galaxy S4 and some of the other premium Galaxy devices, but this camera does not have a low light mode, so you'll have to rely on the auto mode. However, I'll pretty much live with those. The browser is nothing to talk about much, does not support Flash, but has a good HTML5 score usually. So let's just check here. So there you see 479 out of 500, so that's a pretty good score. And when you compare, the BlackBerry default browser should have the highest rating. Then yep, so you have on mobiles, you have this rating. There you see the BlackBerry 10.1 browser has the highest rating. Yeah, still it's pretty decent, our score.